Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Make sure you watch the episode before watching this video because we will be giving details of the show. So make sure you watch the episode first. Hi, y'all. I'm Ivy.
And I'm Yak.
And welcome to another episode of Show Realm. In today's video, we're going to be giving y'all a couple thoughts about the new episode of Bel-Air.
Damn! Jeffrey Thompson, house manager.
Will!
Oh, Viv! 10 years is a long time.
Let me show you around.
Where them dimes at?
Hillary! Let's go find you something fit for a prince.
What do you think?
But before we get started, grab y'all drinks, grab y'all snacks, and relax your body.
Clear your mind.
Open your soul, forget everything you got going on at home, at work.
All that.
And come vibe with us. Welcome to our room. Alright, y'all. Now that we all said, let's dive into this episode because it was kind of a heavy one. I feel like kind of every episode is getting a little heavy. So
A lot going on.
let's get into our first thought, which was what was our favorite moment.
Right.
So my favorite moment
What was it?
is Jeffrey.
You work for me, Jeffrey. You work for me. How could you forget that?
Oh, come on, man. We both know my real job is to protect you and your family. Sometimes those two things don't align.
Telling Uncle Phil what it is. I like that
You
moment
liked it,
because
that,
Uncle, that was something that Phil needed to hear. And Jeffrey was like, it was so funny because it's like, all right, da 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 da, and then Phil like, and Jeffrey like, and da 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 da. Like once he got started, he was like, yo, you need to this. Like he was just.
Yeah, he read them pretty well.
He was like a book, frontwards and backwards.
Bet.
So I like that because, like I said, Phil needed to hear that, and who other than, Jeffrey probably lost his job over it, but it needed to be done.
But Jen, mine is the same thing, but it's only similar. It's a little deeper. I felt like the way they showed that scene was so tight.
Prove me wrong, Phil. Because if you don't, your family's going to split under the pressure.
Because, a lot of times in today, they be like, two men can't express their feelings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, or show emotion. Because if they show emotion, then they weak.
Wasn't you just getting on Will the other day because you said he cried too much?
Oh, here we go, man.
Wasn't you just getting on Will the other day because you said he cried too much?
Stuff like that. I'm in my introspective side today. I'm telling you. So, it was showing because, they basically had the same goal.
Yeah.
But they got a whole little different way of going at it. And it's basically like, Phil, you lost your morals somewhere down the line.
You lost yourself, yeah.
Yeah, and then Jeffrey on some, look, I do this because, like you said, I'm keeping the family right.
Like, I love y'all, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. For the love of you and the family. But sometimes you want me to do something that don't coincide with protecting the family.
Exactly.
So
it's deal with protecting your stank ego.
So when he do that, they're seeing that they all got the similar goals, and it's like, okay, so on the outside everything look honky-dory and everything look all fine and good, peaches and cream and stuff.
Yeah.
But then inside it's cracking, and not only is it cracking, it's getting covered. That's why when
people holding back, and when people hold back too much,
when they do explode,
to come out. You know what I'm saying? It could be dangerous. So luckily, this was just an argument.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they handled it about as amicable as they could handle that.
Phil got in his feelings.
Yeah, he did.
Because he fired him.
Yeah, you're right.
Talk about I can't trust you. I guess I understand what he's saying because he really couldn't
And Jeffrey
trust
like,
them in a way.
I
But
can't trust your emotions and how you moving right now either.
So they
So I'll
can't
be
really
glad
trust
to,
each other.
to
He
kick
wanted to
rocks.
resign anyway.
Exactly.
He just stayed because he wanted, well, you know, and Phil kind of hit that low blow, talk about because you, well, he said you had to leave your son or you left, that was just like, yo,
yeah,
you had to go there.
Then on top of that, like the way they was even able to come to a little agreement at the end, that shows how deep they really care for each other.
Exactly, because Jeffrey was like, no, don't fire me because it's going to look bad, but just say I took a leave. Like, he wasn't even been like, you know, the other shows would be watching. I know all your secrets. I'm going to tell every day. Jeffrey. Why are you saying Gregory?
I don't know. You said it about 3 times.
I don't know where I get that name from. Probably another show we've been watching, but Jeffrey was just like, nah, like, we just going to handle this respectfully. You know, I took a leave of absence, and it is what it is.
Yeah, so that's what mine was too. I guess we were kind of the same on it.
Yeah. All right, y'all. This leads into our next thought, which is who is the biggest threat?
Who you got? Or what you got?
I got Fred. I think Fred is the biggest threat.
Judge Robertson sent me this after he decided to back me in my campaign. Will was arrested after a fight in Philadelphia.
I feel this way because, you know, he is, of course, threatening to expose them for something very detrimental that Phil did. Something that you can tell that he was proud of doing, of course, for Will, but at the same time it went against. Well, we don't even know what Phil's moral is because he wanted Will's whole daddy knocked off. So I'm not finna say it went against his morals, but the position that he's going for now, he had to have known that something like that could come out. You know what I'm saying? So Fred, of course, is threatening to expose all that, and it's just like I feel like, you know, before watching the end, of course, we saw
that's what I was
happened.
gonna say. But this was in the moment.
Yeah, it was in the moment because I'm thinking like, will this drive Phil to do something that he wouldn't normally do, about threatening, about playing dirty, about his whole affair, the cheating and everything that happened. So will it make him stoop low?
But you know he would have.
Yeah, or would he have to take the high road? So it was just like it's a threat because it's threatening to Phil's character in a way, because now we finna see who you really are. You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like he probably would have pulled it.
So you feel like
Jeffrey didn't read him.
So you think Jeffrey's... But would it be something that he wanted to do, or would it have been because... I don't know.
It would have been because he was reckless like he was before. And that's what Jeffrey was telling him. He was like, at the end of the day, that's what you going to do. And you going to basically, you going to chop it up to, I had to. No, you ain't have to. You chose to.
You going to blame it on something else other than your stank ass ego.
Right.
So... yeah, so that was my biggest threat of Fred. Like, it was more so him, but it was also what I felt like he could have drove Phil to do. And I feel like that would have made his wife look at him like, wow. You know what I'm saying? It would have made people look at Phil crazy, so.
Oh, yeah, it would have backfired against him. And then, like I said, when we was watching the show, I felt like that just would have split the party.
Yep.
And then the party would have basically lost anyway, because the votes would have been split.
It just would have been off of drama. Fred saying, well, you did this, and then Phil like you did this. It just would have been a mess, so. But enough of my threat. Who's yours?
My threat. I stay on him every episode.
Reed?
No, not Reed. Carlton.
I think right now I just need to be alone, though.
Carlton was pretty chill this episode.
I know. So, I seen Carlton really like having to cope and everything. So, the threat is the temptation to medicate to cope with what he got going on. So, I'm looking at it like, you know, he being a big man. He's even trying to help Will out and when he was really in a bind at the end with Lisa and everything. But he take on so much, and he really don't know how to take on so much. So what happens is when things ain't right, that's when he really starts spiraling. So I'm just hoping.
It's more so the temptation, or it's just straight up him, because the temptation is always gonna be there. Cause like you say, he always taking on too much.
That's a good way of putting it. It's basically the temptation to go. He know it's not good for him.
Yeah.
So basically, it would just be the temptation to basically just give up on the situation. Yeah. So yeah, he kind of He stopped fighting when he stopped fighting. So he do that to stop fighting, basically.
In his fight or flight mode, he flight.
Yeah, he definitely flight. And
to the closet.
Flight straight to the closet, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that's going to always be over his head. And, like, the more that happens against him, that's when it happens. Like, think about it. If Will ain't there to kind of walk him off the ledge this time, he right back in the closet.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. So he can't just depend on Will. He got to depend on something himself.
Yeah, he got to have a purpose for himself.
Exactly. So
that's my threat.
Okay.
So that brings us to our next thought, which is the biggest mistake.
They're always making mistakes, so what you got?
I feel like the biggest mistake is Will not opening that packet.
Which is why I don't want to open it. I don't want to know. Because the truth is, you've been more of a father to me than any man ever has.
Not finding out. I feel like, cause you was when you was like open it. You need to open it. I want to see what's going on, but he really need to know, and then he can move accordingly. Cause if he keep pushing it off, some point something gonna go down, and then
it's always gonna be there.
Yeah, it's always gonna be there. So
yeah, cause it still bothers him. He talk about, I don't need to know. It still bothers him. You need to know so you can move on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel like he won't be able to fully move on because you don't know who his daddy is.
Facts.
And deep down, he's still thinking about it.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, read the envelope, but then you have to know, like, you have to be in a good place to read the envelope.
So wait a minute. You feel like what Jeffrey was saying was true then? You feel like he was wanting Uncle Phil to walk him to it? And that's what Uncle Phil should have done?
He definitely, if Phil should have been there and been like, you know, you need to know.
And
you
it
know what I'm
like
saying?
the nuclear codes in that packet.
Right? I don't know what's in that packet, but how I'm like, okay, nah, he overdoing it because I know he loved Will and stuff, but see, he was just so excited, like, oh yeah, you don't. I look at you as a son. I'm just like, what is in this packet? Make me want to reach my hand through the screen and get the damn packet.
The country came out of him. He said, I look at you like my boy.
Yeah, he was like, whoo, I'm so relieved. He tripping because if I was Will, look, you know what I'm saying?
It would have been right there. Oh, you seem a little bit too happy.
Oh, yeah, like, So, yeah.
So, yeah, that's yours. I mean, that's mine. So, what is yours?
So, the biggest mistake I got is Phil getting in his feelings.
Sadly, I can't trust you anymore. You're fired.
And firing Jeffrey, like, for what? You all up in your feelings, talking about being blah, blah, blah. I mean, Jeffrey been there for y'all. There was even, you know what part really got to me?
What part?
It's when the doorbell was ringing. And they all looking around like,
where's Jeffrey?
Like, Jeffrey was really a butler. Like, I don't get it. But, I guess he will open the door from time to time. The door. Yeah, but it's just like, where's Jeffrey? I'm like, oh my gosh. But, yeah, I think he got in his feelings a little bit too much. And he fired him. So, I think that was just a bad move. Maybe it could have been like, maybe we need some time. Like a relationship, we need some time apart. You
don't think they're coming back?
I don't know.
I hope he come back.
I do hope he comes back, but it was just like, dang, you got a little bit too much in. But both of them was in their feelings, but I felt like it was just, and I don't even know if Phil even really learned from it because like what he did with the packet, like you know what I'm saying. So we don't know. We'll see, but yeah. All right, y'all. This brings us to our final thoughts. And mine is basically Viv. I'm Viv. I like that she's finally being true to herself in a way. She's still letting some of those negative attributes that she had before still kind of hold her back, because she's like, I can't do this with my family, blah blah blah. Girl, your family basically is grown. Like, chill. You know what I'm saying? Hillary grown. I guess for Ashley, she's still a little young or whatever. But in that situation, I felt like Aunt Viv was just like kind of beating around the bush. I'm like, you didn't get the answers you want because maybe you didn't ask the right question. You know what I'm saying? But maybe she thought she wasn't ready to say anything, which could have been it. But you can't get mad because you didn't ask the right question. You know what I'm saying?
But she knew, because like when she was talking to the lady, she blew up. She was like, basically,
yeah, like she knew something.
What was her word? And she was like, basically that her daughter's holding something from her because she don't think she can handle it.
Exactly.
That's exactly what she said.
So she should have just straight up asked her.
Yeah,
like,
true.
you sitting over here like, tell me. But no, straight up, like, girl, is you know, or is you not? But, well, us being parents, I don't know if I would have asked like that. So, I'm talking crap, but still. But yeah, so, I like Viv, you know, finally going through with her passion. I mean, she still didn't make the call, but hopefully she'll approve because, you know, Phil told her to.
And them paintings turning fire too.
Yeah, they looking good. I'm like, yes. And then, of course, Will needing to face his trauma so that he can move on. Because he just got to face it. You got to face it and you got to move on. And with Phil finally seeing, I feel like he saw what the campaign was doing to him, what it could have done to him. And he just realized what mattered most to him. Like, it wasn't worth everything, you know.
That's why I feel like Jeffrey coming back. Because remember, Jeffrey was like, don't let me down.
Yeah.
So when he did that, I feel like he'll come back and be like, I'll see you back to yourself.
Yep. So what was your final thoughts?
My final thought is like this whole episode was about sacrifice. Like, first, Hillary. Mm-hmm. She's sacrificing the lifestyle, the truth, all of that to try to find a way to dig up out this hole.
Exactly.
I don't know how that's gonna work out.
I don't know either.
Like, and then she's running across people, and so Kylo done something. He done blackballed her or something.
Yep.
Cause the other girl was like, when she said something about collabing, she was like, yeah, maybe. So I was like, okay, that's going on. And then Will, he basically, like we were saying earlier, he's sacrificing his thirst for the truth.
Exactly. His need for the truth.
Exactly. So he basically, all he hear beating in his head is, this would impact the family. The family that saved me.
Exactly.
So
what about you?
Exactly. So he's basically trying to keep everything together. Because as you see it, he's trying to keep Carlton together. Like, he's starting to wear some hats in there.
Exactly. We don't need him having a little stash in a closet either. So.
And then Jeffrey, like, sacrificing it all. He being like, basically like, I can't help this man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I need to help the man that I'm fighting for his family at every waking call, because it's the best thing to do, and it keeps the family safe.
Yeah.
Not nothing that just protects Phil.
Exactly.
So
Phil's ego.
So I feel like they should have called the whole episode Sacrifice.
Yeah, that's a good thing for it. But girl, I gotta talk about Lisa real fast. He got locked up, okay? She just, like, blown out of proportion.
Yeah, like he done caught 3 of them things.
Yeah! Like, he actually took out the dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just freaking shot a gun. Like, girl, chill. Oh, my gosh. She just, oh, my gosh, you lied to... Even Carlton trying to help her. She over there crying for nothing. Girl, he just shot a gun in the air and got one of the top dogs out there mad and looking for him. God, chill. Like, she just, look, Lisa working my nerves a little bit, y'all. Like, she just doing a little bit too much, but I'm gonna let you make it, but girl, come on now. And then, I didn't like they doing all that in front of Carlton, like, you and Carlton wasn't together. God, I'm shocked, like, her mama didn't, like, Carlton and them, Aunt Viv didn't say nothing on it, because I'm sorry. I would have been like, wasn't you, like, wasn't you, like, right, girl, but... Whatever, let me stop.
I told you at the very beginning, old pass along. I told you.
Let me stop being petty. So, but all right, y'all. That's all we have this episode. Y'all already know. Let us know down below in the comments what y'all thought about this episode.
Is this just some cover up because Will eventually gonna come back and he gonna be like, "Hey, I still need to figure it out."
Yeah, where that envelope? I'm ready. Where that at?
And where's Jeffrey?
Exactly. Like they was
Yeah.
asking before. We need somebody to answer though.
Right.
Y'all crazy. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And turn on that notification bell so y'all can continue to get this fire content.